This video is not for kids. This video may contain suggestive themes, graphic images, and triggering topics. Anything said within this video is for strict research purposes only. This channel nor this video condones any harassment or illegal activities from any reaction you may have from this content.
Life is hard, right? And I've kind of been searching for something to shake me up a little bit and give me kind of a meaning to believe in something, and this is it.
This is the final curtain call. This is it, and see you in July.
So we open the show, as you know, with all the lights down.
Ready for this? You have waited long enough. London welcomes the King of Pop, Mr. Michael Jackson.
On March 5th, 2009, Michael Jackson would appear in London in front of a large crowd of his fans to announce his comeback known as the This Is It concert residency. But was that actually a comeback announcement? Or was that him appearing before his fans one last time before he actually left?
On December 26, 2010, I released a video entitled Michael Jackson is Alive, This Is It Imposter, ? In this video, I said that this was Michael Jackson that appeared at the O2 Arena announcement press conference, while others have debated and speculated otherwise. I still believe that this man here is Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson was in London days before the announcement and for the announcement itself. The days he was in London was March 3rd through March 8th, 2009.
Michael Jackson, the King of Pop. I was like, oh my God. I don't know. It's really hard to explain what I feel when I saw Michael. I don't know. It's like, he looked really different, but he was happy. But for me, he was happy, but it was also, he was afraid about something. I don't know, but the way he was talking, he wasn't that happy. He was afraid about something. I don't think it was because of us. I feel like he wasn't sure about the way people gonna, receive him at the O2. Maybe, we don't gonna love him anymore because of what happened before, with everything on Neverland and all the thing. And then I believe he was there to say goodbye.
That recorded footage you just watched and the audio heard was from a story shared from a fan here on YouTube named Fonchrist. He was there that very day on March 5th, 2009 with his camera and recorded everything, and was able to give his account of the events of what he actually had seen while attending the press conference. The full video link will be found in the description box down below if you guys want to check that out after. But anyways, from what Fonchrist says, Michael didn't seem very happy while there. He was happy to see his fans, but he generally just seemed unhappy and scared. Which brings me to another point I wanted to make through researching this, was that body language does show a lot. So I reached out to a friend of mine who studies nonverbal communication, also known as body language, and asked if she could give an analysis of the March 5th, 2009 O2 Arena press conference. If Fonchrist as a fan can gather the obvious that Michael was unhappy and scared that particular day, then I wonder what my friend will find through her use of her studies.
The concert name This Is It is more than just a name. It's become a legend for all that has been tied to since the very beginning. Michael can be seen on more than just one occasion with his children during his stay in London days before the O2 Arena announcement. Here is Michael's arrival to London on the 3rd of March. Also on the 3rd of March, fans gathered outside the Lanesborough Hotel, just outside Michael's window, drawing his attention to the crowd down below. Michael greets the crowd and also allows Prince Michael and Blanket to greet them as well. These moments on March 3rd brings us back to what Daryl was speaking about earlier. The date of March 5th, 2009 brought plenty of controversy as to who appeared at the O2 Arena, as Daryl stated earlier on. This was Michael that appeared at the announcement for This Is It. There were rumors to there being another person involved that day, but those last moments spent in front of his fans in London was indeed Michael Jackson.
What is the name or existence of this double that people claim was there during this press conference? The name of that double is Barry Shaw, and his name became synonymous with the legend that is the This Is It announcement. But where did he come from? 1. Michael used doubles for many of the events in which he was not required to speak or reveal his face. 90% of his doubles that appeared in public on behalf of him wore surgical masks in order to hide their faces, which kept them covered and hidden. Every double tried to look the part, but couldn't quite pull it off without the surgical mask. Question though for the viewers or fans of Michael: why in 2009 would Michael actually give up being with his fans one last actual time to have a double stand in for him? 2. Not sure where the name Barry Shaw came from, but Barry Shaw was a non-factor previously to June 25th, 2009. When researching Barry Shaw, the only images and videos to come up of him were ones fans have photoshopped and ones fans have used from the March 5th, 2009 announcement to plead their case about his existence. When researching doubles of Michael Jackson previous to the June 25th, 2009 date, his being is non-existent as well. It's like he popped up out of thin air, except for being backtracked to the time of December 2009, in which 2 photos are tied to him being Barry Shaw. Even though Barry Shaw is non-existent, one face has never been seen before, while the other labeled as Barry Shaw is an impersonator named Sergio Cortez. Oh, there's even more. Just look at this photo here. Not sure which fan pieced this photo together, but here's a Photoshop of 2 Michaels. One is supposed to be Michael, and the other is supposed to be Barry Shaw. This photo fake was to make Michael and the supposed 2009 double appear as if they had known each other since the early 90s. Well, like the ambulance photo released by the media was fake, so was this photo of Michael with his supposed double. Both persons within this photo is Michael Jackson. The original 1993 photos contain Michael with Liz Taylor. The legend that is Barry Shaw is only just that, and as this death hoax continues, there will be plenty more inconsistent stories to make their way into reality. Stemming back to what Dove Angel said earlier on,
this was Michael that appeared at the announcement for This Is It. There were rumors to there being another person involved that day, but those last moments spent in front of his fans in London was indeed Michael Jackson.
if that was Barry Shaw, March 5, 2009, then who was in the window of the Lanesboro Hotel with Michael's children greeting fans just 2 days before? Look at March 3rd and 5th, 2009. Michael looks exactly the same, no different on either day. Same messy hair, same sunglasses, same face shape, same nose and mouth shape. Let's compare a picture of March 3rd and 5th, 2009 with a picture of Michael in 2003 during the filming of his One More Chance short film. Comparing all three of them side by side, Michael's face appears the same with the upkept version of the 2009 hairstyle. Also comparing March 5th to the rehearsal footage, despite we know doubles were used during the filming process. The rumored Barry Shaw was not a part of the filming. In the This Is It documentary, fans have used this image of Michael to also match up to who was supposed to be Barry Shaw, when in all actuality, this is just Michael Jackson as well. Myths and legends carry a long weight even if they are tied to a misguided truth created within Michael's own fan base. Some may agree, and many others will for sure disagree, but there is no Barry Shaw, and that was Michael that appeared before his fans during the last press conference at the O2 Arena on March 5th, 2009.
In the This Is It song, which is the theme song of the documentary, one of the lyrics Michael says in the song is, "I'm the light of the world." Let's explore the meaning behind "I'm the light of the world" and what exactly it's tied to. According to research, "I'm the light of the world" was how Jesus Christ referred to himself and his disciples in the New Testament of the Bible. Light is associated with being good and having purity, while dark is associated with wickedness and evil. The light that Michael carried in order to deliver his message to the world. Of course, I hope you guys understand this is a metaphorical explanation. Now, the physical, actual light man that was Michael's idea, and personally named it that way, was meant to open his show with an awesome video experience that transferred back to his body. Lightman with Michael in it would float onto the stage all the way to the edge, close to the audience. In a way you could interpret he was delivering the message shown in the video footage to all of us, his fans, carrying light, magic, escapism, and visual imagery onto his body. If you're thinking this Lightman figure reminds you of something or sounds familiar, you're not wrong. It's very similar to the armor he wore during the history tour, with the difference this one is covered with LED panels. It's art made visible. This is again showing how innovative MJ is when it comes to his costumes or visual effects. This has never been done by any other performer. So maybe, just maybe, he patented this idea just like he did his anti-gravity boots. If you know a little about who Michael admired or was inspired by, Lightman is an example of that as well. Renaissance artist Michelangelo's David statue. One of MJ's favorite quotes of this artist is, "And this can or can't be a coincidence."
Well, let's face it, I mean, who wants mortality? I mean, everybody wants immortality. You want what you create to live, be it sculpture or painting or music or composition. Like Michelangelo, he said, I know the creator will go, but his work survives. That is why to escape death, I attempt to bind my soul to my work.
So after Michael gives his cue, Lightman opens piece by piece by piece by piece and he is revealed on stage, spotlight on, and the magic of this wonder begins with the song "Wanna Be Starting Something." Now, let that simmer for a little and think, does this all make sense? I believe it does.
Starting off at the moment of 1 minute and 8 seconds, Michael turns from his audience directly after arrival. This moment is a reveal of shock due to his reaction. You can see he didn't expect this turnout from the audience. At 1 minute and 12 seconds, you can see him cover his face with his arm, which is a clear sign of fear of his acceptance from his peers. At 1 minute and 13 seconds, he once again turns from the crowd to accept the shock he is feeling while also trying to gather some sort of thought.
Still not sure, Jacqueline, actually, as to whether he's going to actually address the crowd. I mean, there are people that are representing him, obviously, but do you expect him to say something?
I suspect he will.
At 1 minute and 31 seconds, Michael keeping his shades on during the introduction was his use of protection from his audience to be able to read his actual reaction through his eyes. Now the eyes do tell a lot, but hiding them says a lot more.
Actually, because, I don't know, just a comparison to Prince. Prince does something very similar when he announces his after days.
Here we are.
At the 1 minute and 42 second to 1 minute and 45 second mark, the sound was absolutely perfect coming from the microphone being used, but Michael chooses to fiddle and adjust it, which would give him more time to gather a full sentence. At the 1 minute and 48 second mark, looking down is a clear sign of avoidance of whatever is being faced. This is also a sign of direct nervousness and fear.
Thank you all.
At the 1 minute and 51 second mark, the total lack of words not only points to the pure nervousness, but this shows that this moment may have been unplanned or forced, which hadn't allowed him to prepare for this speech. At the 2 minute and 2 second mark, this smile was acknowledgement of the crowd and him feeding off of the energy they provided by cheering him on.
This is it. But I just want to say that these...
At the 2 minute and 20 second mark, placing his hand up was his way of letting the audience know he was comfortable enough to finally speak. At the 2 minute and 21 mark to the 2 minute and 38 mark, the gesturing and usage of his hand is also now showing that he meant business and is also using his hand as a direct statement of momentary courage. At the 2 minute and 40 second mark, the chuckle that Michael provided his audience showed his fear, and this also covered up his lack of words from the start of that speech. 2 minutes and 42 seconds in, putting his head back down is a tactic that he's using for more stalling. He is also using these gestures all for the lack of wording that he's providing to the audience. Two minutes and 45 seconds to 3 minutes and 3 seconds in, his stepping away from the podium was more of him stalling. Michael begins gesturing, air hugging the crowd, while still trying to gather a hindrance of what he wants to say, but the words aren't there. 3 minutes and 5 seconds in, this is known as the thinking man's pose. a pose known for being lost in translation of your own thoughts. At the 4-minute and 11 seconds mark, turning away from a person or a crowd at this moment signified an act of completion. The way Michael did it meant that this was the end, a finalization of sorts, especially at this moment when he turned around and raised his hand in the air in a fist formation. The fist is used as a loud ringer to show a sense of proudness and the power that you possess. Michael Jackson had one thing right about himself, was that he was a source of light or enlightenment. Many sources of light always attracts darkness. At first, when Michael did use doubles, he used them to have freedom to move around without his fans, without news media up his ass every 5 seconds, and the mental anguish the public put him through. A sense of normalcy is all that Michael wanted, and faking his death might have been the only way that he could have what his life was lacking. I get it. Him faking his death is all sorts of foul, as people have messaged me saying, but it's foul at whose cost? Privacy is something we ourselves have always wanted, and the privacy we try to keep, we learn to appreciate it. Michael had never gotten that chance. Even when Michael said,
"This is it. I mean, this is really it. This is the final curtain call."
He meant what he said, and more was still asked for, even at the expense of him eventually having to leave. This is really it, and this is the final curtain call on this story. Thank you, Moonwalkers, and the viewers who supported this series over the last 10 years. Please be on the lookout for episode 5 of the Moonwalkers Chat podcast, as this podcast is heavily tied to this episode. Also, thank you to Dove Angel for her incredible support and her being a great team player on this project. Much love, people, and I'll see you for the next video. So many faked proofs of his existence are floating around that didn't make the main part of the video, but here are 2 honorable mentions of faked proof to his existence. On a YouTube page, there's a fake interview with a supposed Barry Shaw that shows while running a video of Michael Jackson as Barry Shaw. This video claims to have been recorded, which shows a video of MJ while playing a recording of someone else talking. There is also a claim on the video tag in which it says the interview had taken place in Chicago, which is also untrue. Why use a video of Michael Jackson and falsify info to the masses about the existence of this impersonator without credible proof? Then on Twitter, a page surfaced claiming to be Barry Shaw, in which it has a link to a MySpace page. When you click it, it takes you to a photo of Michael with an impersonator named E. Casanova. What is the page name? Barry Shaw. Now that's 3 different people that are claimed to be Barry Shaw by fans. When will the games eventually stop? Michael was at the O2 Arena March 5th, 2009, and this is finally it.